Okay. So as we discussed yesterday, I told you today I'll show you the system. I'll show you how exactly the SAP S/4HANA looks different than the SAP ECC system, and then what are the things within the system where exactly you will be able to find the controlling related part. How are you going to proceed? How are we going to proceed towards this course? Okay, so those details you will get today, and if possible, we will also set up the enterprise structure from the finance point of view today itself so that from the next session onwards, we can focus on our controlling related topics. Okay, so this is SAP S4HANA 1909 system. Now, how are you going to check which is a version? And let's say if I give you the SAP system, SAP S4HANA system, and I ask you, can you tell me what is the version of this particular software? Okay, so what you can do is now, first of all, you can see if you compare this with SAP ECC system, the theme is completely new. Okay, there is some background noise. Maybe if you can mute as of now. If you have any questions, you can definitely unmute and ask. Yeah. So this is a new, you can see this is a new theme. Okay, that is the reason the color combination and all looks different. On top of that, we are not able to see the list of the menus here, right? We are not able to see the list of menus here. Why? Because we are using another theme. This is a new theme which is coming default by SAP S/4HANA. Okay, if you want, you can obviously change the theme. You can go back to the previous theme, but this is what is available by default in SAP S/4HANA system. Okay, so if I want to know the system details, what I can do is I can go to this more, okay, and you can see system, and within system you can see status. Okay, and here you'll be able to see the system product version. Okay, just click on this button and it will tell you what is the version. So you need to see this S4 core. Okay, no need to worry about all others. They are related to the other components which are installed in this system. But you can see this SAP S4 HANA means S4 core. This is a core component which is provided by SAP S4 HANA, which is provided by SAP for S4 HANA. Right, so S4 core, and then you can see this 104. What does it mean? What do you mean by 104? So if you remember, yesterday we discussed that SAP came up with SAP S4 HANA in which year? When SAP S4 HANA was launched?
2000 2015, I think.
2015, right?
March,
So what was
March
the first version?
2015.
What are the different versions which are available till today?
It starts from 1503.
1503 was finance. If we talk about SAP S4 HANA, 1503 was simple finance.
Okay.
SAP S4 HANA started from 1511. Yes, it started from 1511. Then every yearly, when we're talking about on-premise system, in case of on-premise system, the new versions are available every yearly. So after 1511, it was 1610. Okay, which means year 2016 and month 10. So October 2016 was the second version. Third version was 1709. Okay, so September 2017. Then came 1809, and now what we are discussing is 1909. Okay, now how will you know based on this S4 core release whether this is 1511 or 1610 or 1709 or 1809 or 1909? So it started from 100. Okay, so if you go to 1511 system, you will be able to see that release is 100. Okay, then if you go to 1610, it will show you 101. Right, release will be 101. If you go to 1709, it will show you 102. 1809 is 103. Okay, and what we are discussing now is 1909 and it is showing 104. So this 104 means this is the 1909 version. Okay, this is one thing. This is one option of checking this. Another one is you can click on this installed product versions. Okay, so even here also you'll be able to see the different products with their releases. So you can see SAP S4HANA on-premise 1909. It clearly tells you this is a 1909 system. Okay, and apart from the core system, there are some other components which are also installed. So we require the ABAP platform, we require the foundation. These are the technical components which are required in order for the functional processes to work. Okay, so for example, if you want to work on Fiori, you need SAP Fiori for S4HANA. You need SAP Fiori front-end server. So these are all the components which are required when you are working on the SAP S4HANA system. Okay, so this is how you can check what is a version. Now another thing, this is about the application, right? Which application we are using? We are using SAP S4HANA 1909 application. Now what about database? Now yesterday we also discussed that in S4HANA we cannot use any other database. With ECC it was possible customer can choose what database they want to use. Okay, if they want to use Oracle, if they want to use Sybase, DB2, all the options are available. But when we are talking about SAP S4HANA, the name itself says that this is a product which is built only for SAP HANA database. This will only work for SAP HANA database, right? And that is the reason when you come to the database section, you can see database system is HDB. HDB means HANA database. Okay, again, within HANA database also from the technical point of view, there are different releases. Okay, so although we don't need to worry about all these releases, but yes, if you are coming from technical background or if you want to go to the technical background, you must also know what are the different versions of SAP HANA database which are available till now. Okay, so in this particular case, in 1909 system, we are using HANA database with 2.00, whatever is a version. Okay, so this is a application and this is a database which is being used in the background. Okay, apart from this, yesterday we discussed that SAP HANA is faster compared to SAP ECC because of two reasons. Number one, in-memory computing. What do you mean by in-memory computing?
The RAM.
RAM, right? In-memory computing means data is directly getting stored in RAM. Okay, and we cannot see here whether the data is getting stored in RAM or hard disk because that is something which is the database point of view. But other second point that we discussed was column based storage. The data will be stored in the form of columns. Is it possible to check that? Can I see in the system whether the table is storing the data in the form of row or in the form of column? Yes, we can check it. We can just go to any table. So you must be knowing SE16N is a transaction which will allow you to go to the particular table, or maybe SE11, which gives you more details from the technical side. So if I go to SE11 and try any standard SAP table, okay, whatever comes to your mind, let's go for BSIC. Okay, and click on display. Okay, here, if you just go to technical settings, okay, and database specific properties. See, this is where you'll be able to know whether the data is getting stored in row or column or undefined. Undefined means by default it is column. In S4HANA or in SAP HANA database also, by default it is column based data storage. Okay, so most of SAP tables, standard tables, by default, when you go for S4HANA, you will find they are storing the data in the form of columns. Now, why this option is provided? This option is provided because whenever you are creating a Z table, okay, let's say, yeah, you have some additional requirement which cannot be served with SAP. So normally you ask a ABAP to develop a particular program for you, and they may need the technical tables in the background. So when they create the tables, system will provide them option whether they want to create a table as a column based or the row based. Okay, so row based will be used when you don't have much data, when you don't have much columns in a table, then you can easily use row based. But if you are expecting a lot of data, if you are expecting many more than 100 columns in your report or in your table, then definitely it is recommended to go for column based data storage. Okay, so these are the new things. This you will not be able to see in ECC unless you are using SAP HANA database. If you are using SAP HANA database in ECC, then this is also common. Because in ECC also, if you use HANA database, it can use in-memory computing, it can use column-based data storage. Okay, so whatever comes with the technical sides of SAP HANA, that would be available even on ECC also. Okay, but what you will not get on ECC? simplified processes. Okay, you will get speed, you will get new user interface. Yesterday we discussed Fiori can be used in ECC also, but what you will not get is simplified processes. The processes which are simplified in S4HANA, those processes you will only get when you upgrade your application, not your database. Okay, so this has to be very clear. What is the database upgrade? Database upgrade means I am upgrading from my traditional database to SAP HANA database, which is called as a technical migration. Okay, and once you upgrade your database, if your application is same SAP ECC, then it would be called as suite on HANA or SAP Business Suite powered by HANA, right? But when you upgrade the application, then it is not suite on HANA, then it is SAP S4 HANA. Okay, and which means the full form is SAP Business Suite for SAP HANA. Okay, now apart from this, if you can see here, this is the first of all, whatever I'm showing you, you might be asking, like, if you have not seen SAP S4 HANA screen till now, you might be wondering that I cannot see anything new here because this is a traditional GUI. I can still execute my transactions. Let's say, for example, I want to go for FB60. Okay, so I can still see the screens, only the theme little bit has been changed, right? But when we are talking about better user interface, we'll be able to access it from mobile, we'll be able to access it from tab. So that things we cannot see here, right? The reason is SAP S4HANA provides SAP Fiori in addition to the traditional GUI. So this is called as traditional GUI. We are not saying traditional GUI is gone and only Fiori is available. Fiori is available on top of traditional GUI. Okay, so one option is you can perform your transactions from here. Okay, you can still enter the transaction codes and it will allow you to perform your transactions. Second option is you can go through SAP Fiori. So this is called as SAP Fiori Launchpad. When you double click on this, this will open the SAP screen in the browser. Okay, and it can be any browser, all major browsers are supported. Okay, so it will take you to, I think here, SAP Fiori screen, and in SAP Fiori screen, you will be able to perform the transactions in addition to the traditional GUI. Now, based on this SAP Fiori screen, this SAP Fiori screen can be configured in your tabs and mobiles also, okay, which was not possible previously with the traditional GUI. Okay, don't worry about this as of now. We will see Fiori in detail later on, but just understand that Fiori is available on top of the traditional GUI. Now, going forward, maybe after 2-3 years, SAP can say, okay, no more traditional GUI. If you want to go for SAP, the only option is you have to go for Fiori. Same is the case with cloud today. If you are using cloud, see, SAP S4HANA comes in two different editions. Whatever we are discussing here is on-premise. Okay, on-premise means customer will get the software. Hardware needs to be arranged by customer by himself. Right, so in case of on-premise, it is not a shared system. For example, if I'm going for on-premise system, this system belongs to customer. Customer can make whatever changes they want. But if you are going on cloud, normally in cloud, it is a public cloud, and public cloud means same SAP system is being shared by multiple customers. Okay, and that is the reason customers will not get that much uh, flexibility to change the business processes. Okay, and that is the reason in cloud you'll be only able to see Fiori screen. It is not possible to use this traditional GUI on cloud. Okay, even you cannot use SPRO for configuration in cloud. Okay, any questions till now? Is it clear whatever we are discussing? You know now what is Fiori, what is the difference between on-premise and cloud on the higher level, because we are going to discuss all these things in detail. But as of now, just the overall understanding of why S4 HANA, what is new in S4 HANA. Okay, so now let's go to SPRO and see what are the components which comes under controlling. So you can either go through SPRO or even I can show you here. So if I go within accounting, controlling.
Gaurav,
Yes, Steven.
before going 1 minute statement here, what
Yeah.
is the difference in the screen layout that you were mentioning? What is the difference between, let's say, 1511 versus this screen? What is the changes that you have seen from the past?
You mean to say the overall
Yeah,
screen?
correct.
Theme has been changed. So theme
So what
means this
is
is for
that changed? What is there, I'm not asking for detail, if at all, if you have that clue of what has been changed, one or two pointers to know that has been
okay.
changed.
Sure. Just give me a minute. I'll show you something.
Okay.
So if I go to this system, okay, this is previous system, not previous system. This is also SAP S/4HANA 1809, but I changed the theme to the previous one. So you will be able to see how it was looking earlier vis-a-vis how it is looking now in the new system. See, this is a previous theme. Okay, so you can see here, you are able to see the menu here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we are using here, if you go to, I think in options, and you will be able to see the themes. You can see these are the themes here. So
Right.
normally in SAP ECC and even in SAP S/4HANA previous versions like 15.11, 16.10, most of the time we were using the signature theme. Okay, but now when I'm talking about this, starting from 1709, 1809, 1909, by default, SAP is providing this new theme, okay, which I was talking about. So let me connect to the new one. Yeah, so this is a new one. Can you see the difference? There is no
Right.
menu here. There is no. So this is a new theme, completely new theme. Now, again, the problem is most of the time when you go for any project, and if you give this new theme to the user, because the users, let's say if they are coming from the SAP background already, this customer was already using SAP, then definitely they will say, oh, we are not happy with this new things because we are not able to find or we are not able to locate the things that we were trying to do. So many times they will ask you to switch back to the previous theme. Okay, which is very simple. You can just go to this GUI settings, options. Okay, and from theme, you can change the theme to whatever you want. Okay, so you still have SAP signature theme here.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Vikram, I have one question.
Yes.
On like before few minutes, you had show us the way to see like which system we are working if we are not aware like current
Right.
system project. I couldn't see the path, or I forgot to notice the path. How you went to see the system details.
So you can just go to more, okay, system and status.
Mm,
It
thank
is
you.
common even in SAP ECC. If you want to see what is the version that we are using, whether it is EHP5, EHP6, same thing we follow in ECC also, right? So if
Yes.
you click on the status, it will tell you the product version here. So if it is not showing you here, just click on this button. It will take you to this installed software component version screen. Okay, and here you need to check S4 core. This is a component that you need to verify which version is it using, which release it is using.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, apart from this, this is the basic version. So you must be aware that when SAP comes up with any new version, every uh, like every 2 or 3 months, they also provide the service packs. Okay, so for example, the current version which we are using is S4 Core 1909 Service Pack 0. Okay, but it is also possible that after 3 months, there are some corrections which SAP is making. So what they will say, okay, this is S4 Core itself, this is 104 itself, but this is Service Pack 1.
Okay, Vikram.
Okay, so this is for Service Pack and this is for the main release.
Thank you, Vikram.
Okay. Okay, any other questions before we go further? Okay, so now let's come to the point. What exactly are we going to discuss within controlling? So This is a easy access menu. Okay, from the easy access menu, you can see definitely we need to discuss about cost element accounting. Okay, so I think most of you who joined this course, there is no fresher. I can see most of you have some background in SAP controlling. So you already know cost element accounting, but there are few changes if you compare this with what was happening in SAP ECC. Okay, so we need to understand the cost element accounting in detail. We need to understand the cost center accounting in detail, internal orders, activity based costing. We will see within the product costing itself. Then we have product costing, profitability analysis, and profit center accounting. Even after this, because I think material ledger is part of this product costing itself, yes. So within product costing, we are going to discuss product cost planning. We are also going to discuss cost object controlling, and we are going to discuss the material ledger. So in this particular course, just to give you the information, we are not going to miss any of these topics. We are going to cover each and every topic in, like, we only don't need to understand how the things work. We need to do the practical project also. That is the idea that we need to keep. Okay, so I will obviously take one of the company, one of the scenario which I will run end to end. But if you want to get utilized by this training, I'm also expecting that you also carry out one or two projects on your own. Okay, and it would make more sense if you already worked, or if you're already working in one of the company, and you try to cross verify the things that we are discussing in the course with how they are implemented in that particular project. Okay, and you try to replicate that scenario in the system that we are going to provide you. Okay, and that will make you the uh, like you will be able to comfortably handle the CO projects. But if you are just listening to me, if you are just following my sessions, and then okay, you think that okay, this is sufficient and we will not be able now be able to uh, work on the practical system without any problem. When you get the project, it will become very difficult, and you again need again and again need to visit the videos, and then only you'll become comfortable. So utilize this 2 months of time to practically do whatever things we are doing in the system in your test system also. And just follow me, don't take the same scenario that I am using. Because if you follow the same thing, if you are, see, I've seen the students, if I create a bomb component for one particular product, they also take the same product, they also take the same components, they also send the same activity prices. Then what is the point? Right? You try to replicate the scenario in the way you want. Okay, then only you will come with the questions. Because then you will come to me, okay sir, in your example you have not taken this scenario, but in our company we have this additional scenario, so how can we take care of that particular scenario? So that should happen, and if that happens, then the session's objective would be reached. Otherwise, if you are just following me, definitely you will be able to understand the topics, you will be able to clarify your concepts, but when you practically start working on the system, there will be a lot of challenges that you may face. Okay, so that is the reason I told you don't take the server access now, take it from the next week, because from the next week onwards we are going to perform the transactions in the system, and you will be able to correlate the things when you will be practicing, and you will be getting sufficient time for practice, at least 2 months. Now coming to the SPRO. So if you are using SAP S4 HANA on-premise system, you still have the access of SPRO. Okay, so you can go to SPRO, IMG, and whatever you were able to do in controlling, you will be able to do it in S4 HANA also. But if you are using cloud, as I told you, in cloud, you don't have the access to SPRO. Now the question is, let's say if I am a consultant and I am responsible for implementing controlling module with one of the customer, but that customer is going for cloud, then how I am going to perform the configuration? The answer is, when you are going for cloud, most of the scenarios are pre-configured. Okay, SAP already provided pre-configured company codes. So whenever you ask SAP that, okay, provide us the licenses on cloud, they will ask you, okay, how many company codes you want, how many controlling areas you want. They will already set up all these things for you. And what you need to do as a consultant is just those changes, those adjustments, which are not common for all customers. Okay, so if I give you the example, you will not be able to change anything at the client level. even exchange rate. Just take an example of exchange rate. This exchange rate also will be taken care by SAP itself. Okay, because that is a client level change. If you change the exchange rate, what will happen? That exchange rate may impact the other customers who are sharing the same system, right? So just the overview that in cloud you don't have SPRO access. SPRO access will be available to you only in case of on-premise system. Clear on this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now what we will do is, as I told you, we will start the configuration from scratch. I am not going to copy anything, whatever is already configured. What I normally follow is start from scratch. Okay, when you are practicing, even then I will recommend you to follow from scratch. But when you are working on the project, you have tight deadlines. In that case, you can obviously copy one of the pre-configured company code and you can just make the adjustments whatever you need. Okay, but at least from the practice point of view, let's try to create everything from scratch, because when you try to create everything from scratch, you will come to know, okay, these are the things which are happening in the background when you are copying it, right? So what we need, so let's put a scenario here. What are we going to do in this particular course? Which is a scenario? What example are we going to take? So we are going to focus on one of the manufacturing company. Okay, you can suggest what manufacturing company you want. For the simplest example, normally I explain this with simple assembling of computer. Okay, I can take that. We will take two examples otherwise. One, I will take the simplest one, that is, which is into assembling of computers. Now, when I say assembling of computers, or maybe you can say there is a laptop manufacturing company. Okay, so most of the laptop vendors, when you talk about HP, Dell, they are not manufacturing each and every component. What they normally do is they have the different vendors who are providing them RAM, who are providing them the hard disk, who are providing them the complete body of the laptop. They are providing them with the mouse, keyboard, everything. Okay, only thing what they do is they just assemble it, they pack it, and they sell in the market. Okay, so we will take this example. Let's say there is a manufacturing company who is into the manufacturing of laptops. Now, what we need to do for this company is we need to set up the organization structure. Okay, so let's say ABC Systems Limited. Okay, let's say this is our company, ABC Systems. I told you the business for this company is manufacturing of the laptops. Okay, so what we need, the first thing in the system is we need to set up the organization structure for ABC system. Okay, where exactly we need to start? Definitely everything starts from financial accounting. We need to set up the company code first. Okay, only after we set up the company code, from the controlling point of view, we'll be able to set up the controlling area. Okay, so first thing is set up the company code, assign the global parameters to your company code, and then we will come to the controlling area setup. Okay, so let's do it in the system now. So in order to set up the enterprise structure, I will follow the normal path, which is I'll go to SPRO.
Hi, Vikram. Just one question.
Yes.
Yesterday you were noting down the points in a document, and you said that you will
Yes,
share.
yes, Satish. I have those points. I'll share both the points plus yesterday's and today's session after this particular
Okay.
session.
Okay. I
Maybe
was
by
only wondering because you were noting down in a notepad, so it might be not necessary.
that will be shared. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll go
Gaurav,
to the
one more
enterprise
question.
structure. Yes, Stephen.
Is there any linkage towards the your setting towards migration path? Is there anything
Sorry,
you're going to
can you come
touch on that?
again?
The migration cockpit there. Are you going to
Mm-hmm.
touch any of those topics?
Migration topic, normally I don't touch on the controlling part, but if you want, maybe we can have one session on that also.
Okay.
Because migration normally I cover in the Delta course. Delta course means the customers who are already, consultants who are already working on SAP FICO, if they just want to know what is new in SAP S/4HANA. Okay, so in that case, the new functionalities and how to perform the system migration, that is normally explained in that course. But yes, we can cover here also, not a problem. So
Okay. Oh,
I'll take
sorry.
1 or 2 sessions on the migration cockpit.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so I'll go to the enterprise structure definition. I think these things are straightforward. So let's try to create a new company code. Okay, I'll not unnecessarily create company because I think most of you are already coming from that background. I don't need to explain all these other things which are not relevant to controlling. Okay, so I'll go to edit, copy, delete, check company code. Okay, and I'll create a new company code here. So let's say ABC systems, right? So ABCS maybe. Let's see if this code is available. ABC Systems Limited. Okay, city, I can keep it as maybe Bengaluru. Country, I'll keep it as IN. Currency, I'll take it as INR, and language, I'll keep it as EN. Now, maybe some of you might be finding that this is also new thing. Okay, but if you are already using the latest NetWeaver application, then this is also common for you. So when I'm writing IN, if you go to ECC, maybe before 2015, when you write IN, it will not show you the option of automatically drop down. Okay, so what is happening whenever I'm typing anything, it is showing me the options. So this is also introduced starting from S/4HANA, but now even if you are using the latest front-end application on ECC also, I have seen some examples. Even in ECC, this is applicable now. Okay, so English, and then let's try to save. So you can see save button is available here now if you are using this new theme, and it will ask you the address information. So company, this is ABC Systems Limited. Okay, I'll just provide the mandatory part. So IN, and I need to create a new TR. Okay, so company code has been created. Now next is, once the company code is set up.
Vikram, sorry to interrupt. Just one question. Are we going to see like only like discrete manufacturing or discrete and continuous? Is there any?
We will see one example of both.
Okay, that will be great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so company code is created. Now I will go and assign the global parameters to this company code before we go to the next point. So how you assign the global parameters? What are the global parameters, or what are the different variants that we need to assign to our company code?
Field
Fiscal.
status variant.
Fiscal year variant,
Field status variant.
field status, yes.
Post period.
Posting period variant.
Posting period, and most important, all are important although, but there is chart of accounts, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do it one by one. Fiscal year definition and all are same. So whatever you were doing earlier is exactly same. What you can do is we can simply go and assign the fiscal year variant to our company code. Now another thing maybe you have noted till now is in ECC, when you go to SPRO, normally it shows you two separate folders for financial accounting. One is just financial accounting and second is financial accounting new. What was the difference and what you were using normally?
I think in new we had the parallel accounting, right, Vikram?
In new, we had the new GL accounting, right, which comes with parallel accounting, which comes with document splitting,
Yes.
right? So in ECC, we had two options. We can either use classic GL accounting. So if it was financial accounting without new, this means it is classic financial accounting. And then there was financial accounting new, which was new GL accounting, right? But in S4HANA, it is only showing you one. Does it mean that financial accounting without new, this is classic financial accounting and new GL accounting is not supported, or the other way around? It is other way around, right? It doesn't mean that financial new GL accounting is not available in S/4HANA. It is only new GL accounting is available in S/4HANA. In S/4HANA, you don't have the option of classic GL accounting, right? And that is the reason it is not giving you option whether you want to use financial accounting or financial accounting new. There is only one option, and that is new GL accounting. Okay, so in S/4HANA, technically, from the technical point of view, only new GL accounting is supported. And that is the reason there are no two separate folders for financial accounting and financial accounting new. There is only one financial accounting. Obviously, it is a new GL accounting. Right, so don't search for where is the new folder here, because old one is gone and financial accounting new is replaced with financial accounting. Okay, so let's go to the financial accounting folder, financial accounting global settings. Okay, let's go to the ledgers first, and you have this fiscal year and posting periods. So I will just go to assign company code to the fiscal year variant. Okay, so for our company code, which is ABCS, I will assign the fiscal year variant as, I can assign it V3 or K4. Okay, so let's assign K4 just for the simplification purpose, because otherwise we need to every time remember that there is minus 3 months that we need to carry out, right? So let's keep it as K4. Now there is one change compared to SAP ECC when it comes to fiscal year variant. Okay, although in the definition of fiscal year variant you will not be able to see much changes, but what is changed is, if I ask you the simple question, in ECC, can I have a different fiscal year variant assigned to my company code and to controlling area? So let's say I am using ABCS company code, which is assigned to ABCS controlling area. Can I use K4 here, and can I use any other fiscal year variant in controlling area in ECC?
In ECC, it's not possible, but in S4 we can.
Is it in ECC? It is not possible to have that separate fiscal year variant assigned to your company code.
ECCS is possible. It is possible, not in S4 though.
Okay, you are saying in ECC it is possible. So can I assign K4 here and V3 in controlling area in
Could be
ECC?
possible. Could be possible.
Okay. The answer is, it is possible in ECC to assign the separate fiscal year variant to your company code and controlling area, but the restriction is it should start and end at the same dates. Okay, so for example, I cannot assign K4 here and V3 in the controlling area because V3 starts from April and K4 starts from Jan. But if there are any other, for example, if I show you like K4, K1 is also calendar year, K2 is also calendar year, K3 is also calendar year. So what I can do is, in ECC it is possible to assign K4 in company code and K3 or K2 or K1 in controlling area. So as long as the starting date is same and the ending date is same, I can have two separate fiscal year variants assigned to my company code and controlling area. But now in S/4HANA, it should be very clear, if it is K4 here, it must be K4 only in controlling area. It will not support any other fiscal year variant in controlling area. So there are two things which needs to be common in company code and controlling area. Can you tell me what are those two? First one we obviously discussed is fiscal year. There was one thing even in ECC which was mandatory to be same.
Operating chart of account.
Exactly, it is chart of accounts. So your chart of accounts must be same in company code and controlling area. So in S/4HANA, chart of account and fiscal year variant, they must be same in company code and controlling area. That is a basic requirement, right? If you have separate fiscal year variants for different company codes, now let's say you have ABCS, which is for India. Similarly, you have ABCU for US. Okay, so ABCS, let's say, is using V3 and U is using K4. Now, because they are using separate fiscal year variants, we cannot have one controlling area to be created for both the company codes. We have to create a separate controlling area. Okay, so as long as your fiscal year variants used in your company codes are same, you can assign the same controlling area to those company codes.
But let's say the consolidation purpose, we can create group chart.
Yeah, for consolidation purpose, obviously you can create the group chart of account, or you can use the consolidation module within SAP. Okay, but from the basic controlling background, it is not possible to allow multiple company codes with different fiscal year variants to be assigned to single controlling area, because it must be same. Okay, so this is only change which is coming in SAP S4HANA, which came in S4HANA. Okay, in the fiscal year variant. So let's save it. Let's go back now. Second is, let's go to the posting periods. In the posting periods, let's first define the variant. Okay, so I don't want to use the standard variants which are used. I will just create a new variant for my company code, which is ABC S. Enter and save. Okay, let's go back. Second is assign variant to company code. So I will assign the company code ABCS with variant ABCS. Okay, and the last one is OB52, right, where we specify whether the period is open or closed, right? So open and close the posting period. Now here, first change in ECC, whenever you open OB52, was it asking which posting period variant you want to see? In SAP ECC, whenever you go for transaction OB52, it was showing all the posting periods at the same time. Okay, just like this. If you want to see the same thing, just click on maintain all. So this is how it was shown in SAP ECC. Okay, but now what is happening? There is one change, that whenever you go for OB52, the first thing it is asking you for the posting period variant. Now, can you tell me why this change? Is it going to make any difference? Why there is an option of selecting the posting period variant here itself? Any guess why exactly this may be provided by SAP? Okay, the reason is, when you specify one posting period variant, okay, let's say I am just specifying 0001. Okay, and clicking on this, so it will only show me 001 posting period variant. So system has locked only posting period 0001, posting period variant 0001. Other user, if they want to make any changes to another posting period variant, okay, let's say another user from another company, he also want to make some changes in OB52. So we are not locked his company code. We only locked posting period variant 0001. What was happening earlier, any user, if he is going to OB52, it is locking for all other users, because he is maintaining all the posting period variants from the single screen. But now if you restrict it to one, the lock issue for this particular screen would be reduced. Okay, so that is first benefit. Second is, now if I go, second change, I mean, if I go to the maintain all, now although I locked each and every posting period variant, can you see any other change which you are able to correlate with ECC? There is one more change in this screen.
From period.
Period 3, interval 3.
Right, so this is a second change, which was not there in SAP ECC. In SAP ECC, we had only two period intervals. Okay, so this is period interval 1 and this is period interval 2. Now, in addition to period interval 1 and 2, SAP provided period interval 3. Okay, we will understand in detail why exactly this is provided with the example, but as of now, just understand that what was the first period used for? Why there were two period intervals?
First period is for regular statutory entries, like whatever is required by law. And the second one is for the special period for month
Right.
and postings and all.
Yes. So normally the first period interval, we use it for the normal postings, regular postings that we make during the month for the accounting. while the second period interval is normally for the special periods. Okay, so if you want to make any adjustments after the regular periods are closed, okay, so year-end activities, whatever you want to carry out, normally we carry out in the special periods. Okay, so now the third period interval is provided by SAP just for postings which are triggered in CO. Okay, I'll give you the example. In ECC, if I close FI period 12 of 2019, okay, I closed FI period 12 of 2019, which means I cannot post any financial accounting document in 12th month of 2019. If I close from FI, it means I cannot post any financial document in 12th period of 2019. But I want to do the CO adjustment. I just want to do the CO adjustment without impacting FI. Is it possible in ECC?
Sorry,
My question is, in ECC, FI periods were controlled from OB52. Do you remember how the CO periods were controlled? Which period is opened from CO?
Yeah, within that CO module, K something KRR.
Okay, OKP1, right?
OKB1, yeah.
There was a transaction called OKP1, which was there in SAP ECC. So from OKP1, we were able to control whether the period is open for controlling purpose. Okay, for FI purpose, this was the screen, but for CO purpose, it was OKP1. But now, what will happen is, even if your 12th period is closed for 2019, okay, even if you just want to post the CO document, if your CO postings are open in OKP1 also, still the system will not be able to post that document because earlier FI and CO were two separate components. Whenever you are posting anything in CO, it was going to the separate CO tables, right? But now in SAP S/4HANA, everything is coming to one single table, that is the new table that we discussed, AC Doc A, Universal Journal Table. Okay, and if you want to post any document in Universal Journal, the setting needs to be done from here. So what does it mean? It means that if the 12th period is already closed for FI, and if you want this period to be opened only for CO relevant postings, then you have to make sure that you enter the CO period intervals here. So this is mainly for management accounting, mainly for CO related postings which are not triggering to FI.
so in S4 OKP1 is
No, no, no. In S/4HANA, OKP1 is still there, but OKP1 will still continue to check whether the CO period is open or not.
So it will change from here on.
No. See, even if the CO period is open, there are two things which will be checked now when you are posting any CO transaction. Number one, from CO whether the period is open or not. So that is OKP1.
Okay.
Okay, so even if it is open from OKP1, it is trying to post the document in Universal Journal. So if the Universal Journal is closed, then even OKP1 is not enough. So there are now two checks which will be performed whenever you are posting the CO document. First through OKP1, second from this screen. So even if OKP1 is open, if this is closed, system will not allow you to post anything. So you have to open it from OKP1 as well as from here for the Universal Journal document. Okay, because earlier what was happening, OKP1 was just taking the controlling tables. So OKP1 is open, okay, let's go and post in the controlling tables. But now it is not only controlling tables, it is a Universal Journal also.
So let's say in OKP1 period 3 is there, right? So same way it should be maintained.
You have to maintain it if you want to open it.
So
Okay,
you will
and
mirror,
this,
you will mirror the period 1 towards the period 3. Is that what you're trying to say, Laura?
can you come again?
Are you going to mirror the same period? Here in period 1, I see 1 starting with 1, ending with 12. So that is
No,
what you
not
see.
necessarily.
You will be putting in period 3 for
No,
control.
no, no, not necessarily. I'll tell you how it will work. So if you keep it blank,
Yeah.
okay, currently you can see it is blank.
Yeah.
This blank means same things will be automatically taken care of for period interval 3 also.
Oh, I see.
Okay, I need to only enter the values here if they are different from period interval 1. So for example, if this is blank, system will by default assume that it is open from first period of 2000 to 12th period of 2019. But if I want it to be closed or to be open from 12th period of 2019, I can enter it here. Okay, so let's take an example. So this one is from first period of 2000. Okay, let's keep it as 2019. So I'm saying FI is open from first period of 2019 to 11th period of 2019. Okay, so you can see first period of 2020 is not open from FI point of view, right? But if I want to open this period here in the period interval 3, so what I can do is 12 of 2019 to 12 of 2019. So which means although I cannot post any FI document in 12th month of 2019, but I can definitely post a CO document because CO posting period is open. But if I'm not mentioning this, if I'm keeping it blank, this means system will assume that whatever is open for FI is open for CO.
What will be there for OKP1 then?
OKP1 is a first check. OKP1
No, I
will
understood. But in this case, you gave an example of period 12. What would you
right.
see in OKP1? Is it 12 only, or is it open, fully open from 1 to period 12?
Yeah, it can be 1 to 12 also.
Okay.
Yes. But the period that you are trying to post should be open from here also and OKP1 also. So in our example, 12. So 12
Okay.
period should be open from OKP1 also and from here also. Okay, but we will see one transaction. Then you will be able to correlate the things. Okay, so as of now, from the certification point of view, just remember two important question comes on this particular scenario. Number one is how many period intervals are there in the posting period variant in SAP S/4HANA? So answer is they will provide you option 2, 3, 4 something. Answer is 3. Okay, second question which they ask is in S/4HANA SAP has provided the third period interval. Why? What is the purpose of using the third interval? Okay, so they will give you the options. First one is normal regular financial postings, second is special period postings, and third one is management related postings, management accounting related postings. So you need to be very clear, it is management accounting related.
So this only come for only for universal general purpose.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so what we need to do now is for our company code, we need to set up the new posting period. So we have to create the new entries. So normally what we do is instead of creating everything from scratch, I will just copy this.
So there is one T code in the front end for posting period open, which is like,
OB52.
no, this is like a config, right? This is not open.
Yeah, there is S underscore ALR, which will come to the same screen, but it will not ask you for any TR.
Yeah, which is that?
I'll show you. It is in the path. So posting period variant we created is ABCS. Okay, so I'm just putting it from whatever it is open. We will separately see whether it is required to be changed later on. So as of now, I'm just creating the posting period variant, and now my company code is also assigned to the posting period variant.
Sir, this period 3 is available from the previous version or only from 1909?
No, no, no. This period 3 is available starting from 1511 itself, or
Acha,
maybe
only in the Hana.
15. Just give me 1 minute. 1511, I think. Yes, 1503 there was no space period interval 3, and that is the reason some of the customers face the issues. Then SAP came up with one of the SAP note in which they allowed the period interval 3, and starting from 1511 this functionality is available. So you'll be able to see in 1610, 1709, and even in 1809.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, Vikram, we are not able to hear you. I don't know if
Can you
it's only me.
now?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
sorry.
Yes.
it's
There was
raised
some
actually.
disturbance in background. So Deepa, you got your answer, or I need to repeat?
No, I got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay then. So let's. I think we got disconnected. Let's connect it again. Okay, so I think we already saved it. Let's come out of this. Next one is field status variant. There are no changes in the field status variant. So simply we can just copy the field status variant 0001 and we will assign it to our company code. Okay, so I'll again create this ABCS and assign it to ABC. Sorry, first I'll create and then I'll assign. So copy all. This is what we normally do. Okay, and save. And then let's go and assign it to our company code. So ABCS would be assigned to field status variant ABCS. Save it. Okay, and last one and the most important one is chart of account. Okay, where again there are some changes compared to ECC. So I'll come out of ledgers, come out of financial accounting global settings. Normally chart of account is available in general ledger accounting, master data, GL accounts, preparation, and edit chart of account list. Okay, so within chart of account list, we can create a new entry for our chart of account, which is ABCS. Okay, and here again, I will just provide the description. This is chart of accounts for ABCS. Maintenance language, I will keep it as English. Okay, you can have whatever language you want based on the country where you are working on the project. So length of the GL account number, what was the maximum length of the GL account number in ECC? Maximum length of the GL account number in ECC?
Now it is 10, right, Vikram? And before that was that 6?
9.
Any other answers? It was 10 in ECC also, and it is 10 in S/4HANA also. There is no change here. Okay, so maximum length of the GL account number can be 10 characters in ECC as well as S/4HANA. This is very important question in exam. Okay, many times they ask this. What is the maximum length of GL account number? So now, are you able to find any change here compared to ECC? In ECC, there was one field which is not appearing here. Anyone is able to locate that field?
So I think maintenance.
Maintenance of?
Controlling integration.
Exactly, there was a controlling integration. Okay, controlling integration, there was a field of manual or automatic creation of cost element. Whether the cost element will be created manually or automatically.
Yeah.
Whenever you create a GL account, if you want to tell the system that create the cost element automatically, there was one field here. Okay, now that is gone. The reason is in ECC, master data for GL account and cost element, they were two separate transactions. There were two separate transaction codes to create a GL account and to create a cost element. Now, the master data of GL account and cost element are merged together. There is no separate transaction code. So even if you try to, let me show you. So if I open a new screen and go to transaction KA01. KA01 was a transaction code to create a cost element in ECC, right? But if I try KA01 now, system is again showing me the GL account. It is not taking me to the cost element. Why? because GL account and cost element are now merged together. There is no separate transaction code for cost element and GL. Okay, and that is the reason that tick is also gone. That is no more required. Okay. Apart from that, most of the things are same. You can see group chart of account is available and even the blocked indicator is available, which are available in ECC. Okay, so if you want to use the group chart of account, then you have to specify it here. And if you want to block this particular chart of account, that you are in the preparation mode and you don't want anyone to use this chart of account, you can block it from here. Okay, apart from that, most of the things are same. Let's try to save it. So our chart of account is now created. So chart of account creation is not enough. What we also need to do is we need to assign to our company code. So our company code is ABCS, and we need to assign this chart of account ABCS, the one that we created just now. Save it. Okay, let's come out. Next one is define the account groups that you also do in ECC. There is one difference here in the account groups. You have to create one additional group. Okay, I'll tell you why. So let's say I'm creating some of the groups within ABCS chart of account. Number one is, let's say, for assets. Okay, so for assets, I will create the number range from 2000. It is up to you. I'm just creating 4 digits number range. So again, ABCS, I'll create it for liabilities. Okay, and 1000 to 1999. Again, another ABCS, I will create it for expenses, which I'll create it from 4000 to 4999. And last one I'll just create is for revenues. Okay, so you must be knowing, based on your company, there can be hundreds of account groups. Based on your client's requirement, you can create whatever number of account groups that you want. So 3000 to 3999. Okay, so these are the normal. In ECC, at least these account groups are created. Okay, so you need to segregate assets, liabilities, expense, and revenues. But in ECC, if I ask you the simple question, we were creating the GL account for the cost elements, right? If I want to use the cost element, primary cost element, there were two types of cost elements in ECC, primary and secondary. Primary means the cost element. Can you tell me what is primary?
Primary is for FI and secondary is for CO.
Okay, so yes, primary is for FI and secondary is for CO, but what was the other difference? Like when you were creating, what was the basic difference between the two?
Primary is the direct expenses to manufacture any product.
So in short, for primary cost elements, GL account was mandatory. You have to first create a GL account, right? And then you have to extend that GL account as a cost element. You cannot create a primary cost element without the GL account in FI, right? But when it comes to secondary cost elements are only used for CO adjustments. They don't need FI GL account in FI, right? So we were not creating the GL accounts for the secondary cost elements. But in S4HANA, one of the changes, even you need to create the GL account for secondary cost elements also. Okay, so secondary cost elements will also get created as GL accounts in S4HANA. Okay, and that is the reason there will be one more account group that you need to create for secondary cost elements. You can call it as secondary cost accounts or secondary cost elements. Okay, so normally we use 9000 to 999. Okay, secondary cost elements are normally represented by 9. No, account group is created at the chart of account level.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you are creating the account group at the chart of account level.
Gaurav, this number ranges that you are written from and to, is this normal that for assets you give the series 2?
No, not necessarily. This is
Not
just for example. It totally depends upon the customer what number ranges they want to use.
okay.
But
Because
even if you go to
best practice usually takes one for assets, liability 2, equity 3, revenue
Possible.
4, so on and so forth. So we follows the same thing, right? Is that your suggestion or anything
Yes.
different from?
If you want to see the standard, what you can do is you can just check INT. Let me show you. So let me come out of this first. So standard SAP delivered chart of account INT. So you can see they are using this option. So assets, sorry, INT is this one. So they are using this GL. They are not segregating the liabilities and assets. They are just keeping as like fixed asset accounts. Where are liabilities here? Yeah, I think they provide in the general GL accounts, which they kept it open. Or maybe someone has changed this in the standard settings. But you can always go with the best practices. You can check in INT.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so account groups are created, and the last one is we need to specify the retained earning account. Okay, retained earning account. What is the purpose of retained earning account?
All your
The
previous year's profits goes into that.
Yeah, carry forward the PL balance.
account balances.
PL balances, yes. So chart of account would be ABCS. Okay, and as of now we have still not created any GL account, so we'll keep it blank. But here we need to provide at least the one account type. Okay, normally we provide it as X and save it. Okay, you will get this warning message. Ignore this and press enter. Okay, so now our four variants, that is fiscal year variant, field status variant, posting period variant, and chart of accounts, they are all assigned to our company code that we created. Okay, last one, maybe we will just extend the number ranges. So what I'll do is I will go to FBN1. Okay, so that whenever we are posting any document, we are able to post it. So I'll copy it from 0001 to company code, which is ABCS. Okay, and now if I go to ABCS and let's see the intervals, yes, all the intervals are copied. Okay, so now we are done with the basic settings. Now we need to talk about the controlling related settings, which will start from the next session. So what are we going to do in the next session? We will directly start with the controlling area. We will create a controlling area, and during the controlling area, I will tell you what are the important things that you need to set up, what were the things which were there in ECC, what are the new things in S4 HANA, and then slowly we will start posting some transactions in controlling. So initially, we will not, as I told you, we cannot directly touch the important topics like product costing and COPA, because product costing requires a lot of things from cost center accounting, activity types, statistical key figures. We will also cover internal orders. So these are the topics that we have to discuss in detail before we go to the product costing topics. Okay, so any questions before we close today? So what I'll do is I'll share these two recordings with you today itself. It will take time because I have the continuous sessions for another 4 hours. So after the sessions, I will send you these recordings as well as the notes which I have written on my screen. And Stephen, to you, because you also want this FI related videos, I will also share those videos with you today itself.
Yes.
Vikram,
Yes, Sneha.
can you please share with me FI related videos if you can?
Sneha, you registered for this course, right? FI. So you will be
I
already getting videos on day-to-day basis.
I have registered for CO, and initially I was thinking I will take FI simultaneously, but if my project will start, I might not take the weekdays
Okay.
back.
No problem. No problem. I'll just speak to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye. See you next week on Saturday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Bye all.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.